Hi, I'm Sharon.
And I'm Keith.
And welcome to Reels Across the World. So we're doing our travel from Santiago on the short flight to Calama, also in Chile. It was your birthday.
It was my birthday, and LATAM, who we flew with, even gave me a birthday card and a little present, which was lovely.
I know, more than I did. Anyway, enough said about that. We didn't need to travel with bits. We arrived at Calama Airport. We just went straight out, booked the transfer there and then with
TransVIP.
They're just outside.
There's a couple of different companies that do that trip, but we used TransVIP and it was great.
And we got to our hotel. It drops people dead on their hotels. It's not the biggest place in the world, San Pedro de Atacama. We had a lovely time there. We were mainly using it to see a few places and then book our trip to Uyuni through the salt flats, which we did. So we went off to a nice restaurant that we went into one who Keith said, "I'm a vegan," and he told us somewhere to go, but we couldn't find it. We did have bikes actually. Our hotel had free bikes, which was one of the reasons for booking it, and a very nice pool.
Yeah, basically this guy, his partner was also a vegan, so he had a recommendation for another restaurant, but he was such a nice guy and so generous. He let us get onto his Wi-Fi, and so he was just really nice. We couldn't find the other restaurant, which was definitely our fault rather than his. But we went back there, and he then said, "Oh, actually, I'll adapt the menu and make you vegan food." So he was just a really nice guy, and so he became our favorite.
That comes with the
became
eggs
our favorite restaurant.
Top. Yeah. So we ate there 3 days in a row.
Yes.
So I got the eggs. It was very nice. So we recommend that restaurant. We'll put the link below. So our hotel had the free bikes, so we cycled off there and cycled back again. The next day we took the bikes to, they did have helmets and high-vis jackets as well actually, which makes it a little bit safer. We cycled off to the Valley of the Moon, which was a relatively easy cycle to get there. Didn't quite realise how big the Valley of the Moon was for us to cycle along and how much walking there was to do. But having said that,
and there's a couple of quite steep bits as well.
Yeah,
so it's not entirely flat.
Obviously it was quite warm, but yeah, it was fine. We met some really lovely people along the way, took some nice pictures as you'll see here, and we had a really nice time.
Yes.
We didn't do any other trips, so that pretty much took most of the day, to be honest. We
got back very tired actually.
Yeah, we wandered around. I mean, there's like just the main drag and a little square in San Pedro de Atacama. So yeah, obviously we ate out again. We got a great breakfast. Restaurant. We got a great breakfast at the hotel. The second day we were sorting out our trip for the uni, so we went to Cruise
Andina,
which we'd seen on previous YouTube videos, and I desperately wanted to go with them because I was guaranteed this lovely salt hotel that they actually owned, but that's another story. So we booked and paid for them. We didn't actually even need cash. We could do it as like a direct transfer. We paid a little bit extra to do it, but it still meant it was easier than getting lumbered with local Chilean money, which we'd managed to get through the whole of Santiago without local currency, I think, just on our debit card and our Wise card. So that worked out really well. And the third day we just had a nice pool day. We had some more trips to book and things to get organised for future visits. So it
was actually a really nice day. We just sat around the pool.
Yeah.
It was lovely and sunny. It was great.
Yeah, there were some Brazilians around the pool. It was just a nice time. So the next day was our early start. We had been told by Casa Andina that they were going to pick us up at 10 to 6. 10 to 7. But they turned up an hour early.
So luckily we were up and we were kind of getting ready, and suddenly the guy texted us and said, "I'm outside." So we were like, "Ah!"
But we managed. We just rushed, and we were there. And we met he'd gone off to get the other couple. We were very fortunate. There was only 4 of us, 2 couples, and they were from Holland. And we all know the Dutch are really good at English, so we had a really lovely time. So hi to them. They know who they are. So then it's about crossing the border. So Daniel was the guy who took us to the border. We then have to wait for it to open and do a visa form that we thought we'd already done, but apparently Oh, that's another top tip, is that you have to say you're coming, well, it asks about your residency or something, which we thought was UK, but it doesn't mean that. It
means where you're coming
coming from. So we had to redo that, but they give you free Wi-Fi, and it was
It's quite a
easy
long
enough.
process getting through the border. You basically go up to the
a lot
border,
of queuing.
have breakfast, and wait for the border to open. You then get through the Chilean side of the border, which when it opens, and then you go over the border and wait for the Bolivian side to open, because they're an hour behind because of the time difference. You then have to go through the Bolivian side, and you pick up your 4x4. And Jose Luis was the guy who was driving us. So you then get transferred into your 4x4s, and you then go off through the Bolivian side of the
but it was
immigration.
A big change of temperature really suddenly, and you're starting to already go up gradually to higher elevation. But the food was lovely. Our company was obviously lovely. And the very fortunate thing about having 4 of us in there is that we didn't have to have our luggage stored at the top. We could keep it in the back because we didn't have anyone else there, and that made it a lot easier for just having access to your bags and on the rest of your luggage, really, and change of clothes. And
also just gave us a bit of extra room, just didn't feel as crowded, so it was good.
So the first stop after that, I think, was some flamingos, wasn't it? A lake, the Verde Lake and the Blanco Lake.
As you drive through from the border, you're going through the Andes, and so you're seeing the mountains and the lakes and the different. So there's the Laguna Blanca and Laguna Verde. So you get different lakes with different colours, and
then you just keep on travelling, see lots of nice scenery, and then we got to the hot springs, which was really nice. We packed our swimmers really easily. We had our towels, so we had a really nice time just enjoying that. One thing I will say is the same people you meet at that border are all doing the same trip, basically.
So you're all just meeting up along the way. So we got quite friendly with people from the other vehicles, and the other thing we saw, by the way, was the geysers. So you go past and there's sort of geysers shooting up steam out of the ground, etc. You're going to quite high elevations, and the other thing about the high elevations, the weather changes dramatically. So it went from me putting on sun cream. We joked about the fact that every time I put on sun cream, it started to snow.
We literally had 4 seasons in one day, but it was all good fun. There's a lot more travelling. By then it was by late afternoon it was really chucking it down.
Yes.
And we got to, do you remember what the little village was called where the hotel was?
I can't remember the name of it, but I'll put it in
but
the notes.
Everyone stops there. I do remember thinking, that hotel looks a bit nicer up the hill. It was just
we went to it.
Yeah, it was the one we ended up going to. I have stayed in nicer hotels, but it wasn't too bad. They have this strange arrangement. You can pay extra for Wi-Fi, which we did because we want to be able to message our children, which was £1.
10 Bolivia.
Yeah, so equivalent of £1 each. We spoilt and had to. We both had Wi-Fi. You could also pay extra to have the ensuite opened, which we didn't actually do. We don't even know how much it was, but we'd already decided ourselves that we were not going to shower that day.
And there was literally just the 4 of us in the hotel, so it was actually just us and the other couple in the hotel. So really, although we were only sharing with a couple of others, so it's fine.
It was no different from sharing with you.
I did have one thing. The food was great. Actually.
Food was nice,
really good.
Free drinks and everything, not alcoholic, obviously.
Yeah, but it was good.
Yeah, really nice. We slept reasonably well. The bed wasn't the most comfortable. It wasn't
not
the warmest.
So we had 2 beds in the room, so we took the blankets off the other one and put them on top of us.
But we were fine.
But we were fine. It wasn't as bad as we.
And then obviously the next day was
Rock Day.
Was it? It was Rock Day already. Yeah, Rock Day.
It was Rock Day already. Yeah.
So lots of rock formations, which you'll see in the pictures, but really interesting, fun to climb on. The World Cup one. It's quite sad to see what they called them, and we saw some. What are they called? The little rabbity things?
Something
beginning with V.
B, actually, I think. But it's spelled... anyway, whatever.
Oh yeah, so we were still having a lot of rain. So we were at one point in the afternoon. The driver took a call, and our Spanish isn't brilliant, but it was like, I think he's just been told we cannot stay in the Salt Hotel. At this point, my heart sank, and it was right to sink. But the hotel that they own is at a different end, where the it's where the cactuses are, that side, and it meant that we couldn't go because it had so much rain that the road was blocked and it was dangerous. So they had to think fast and put us into a different hotel, but it was not the same standard. And although it was a sort of hotel, and well done for trying, it wasn't the best, and we had to share a bathroom with lots and lots of people. The food wasn't amazing. The Wi-Fi didn't stretch to our room, but we survived. And I had to have a shower, wash my hair, but it was fine. And then it was still really wet, and so we were quite concerned that in March we would end up not. I don't know. At this point, I thought we might not even be able to go on the salt flats, which somebody had told us can happen, but we could, and we have these beautiful, beautiful pictures to show. It was wet. They gave us the white wellies, which are really cute. And we had these amazing shots that we're showing you
And
now.
the driver was great, actually. He did really nice stuff.
Yeah, his English wasn't amazing, but at one point when I said, I'll have a shower at your house, because he lived in the Uyuni, he understood that, which actually made me laugh. But yeah, I mean, hats off to them. They did refund some money back for
It was
for the trauma.
And to be honest, you could
I'm
really,
not good with horrible hotels.
as we were driving through, you could really. I mean, it was clearly enormous amounts of rain that they were having,
and it was just
some
bad
of the
luck.
and some of the roads they were driving over were really pretty treacherous. So you could understand why it had happened. We also got the chance, actually, on that day before with the salt hotel. We went to the train graveyard, which is obviously a very famous Uyuni tourist spot, where you can clamber onto these
and it's just been
old
left
trains.
there
So it was that was kind of cool there.
for such a long time, when they didn't need them anymore for silver mining.
And there's a few they've done some sort of metal sculptures as well, which are quite cool. Quite cool.
Yeah, it's all part of the trip, and to be fair, everyone did the same trip. Obviously the accommodation's different, and that's the thing to research when you are looking into which one to do. They did promise you, for no extra cost actually, a private room, or obviously sharing with Keith, but whereas the others were going to be in shared accommodation, so as well as no showers and cold conditions. You kind of get what you pay for. Ours was a little bit more money, but not much, to be fair. So
I think it was worth it.
Yeah, so we can't say it was bad, but it was the most amazing experience, and obviously mainly it was about the salt flats. We enjoyed the flamingos and the other
you'll
bits.
see, I think, as on the video, you can see some of the shots that we took on the salt flats, and some of the things that we did was actually the little videos we took. The driver mainly sort of organised those, but actually really such a lot of fun, and so beautiful, absolutely lovely seeing the sun rising.
So we were up for sunrise. We had breakfast in like a little. Everyone has breakfast. By then we were all good friends, all the groups, in a little. It is a little hotel actually, isn't it? Where the flags.
It's a hotel. I think it's just a restaurant-y area.
No, it's a hotel, because I accidentally went into someone's room because they left
Oh.
the door open, and then I just thought they'd gone, but they hadn't. So it's another salt hotel basically,
Cool.
where the flags are, and you'll see the pictures here. And then we went to
a couple of Bolivian villages along the way, and then we went back into Uyuni.
We had lunch. We had lunch there. That was a really nice little place. It had free Wi-Fi, always a bonus. They were really nice, and that's pretty much the point of when we get driven back, and then we had to say goodbye to our Dutch friends who were going back to San Pedro, and they looked after our bags actually for us, and we were then hanging around because we were on our first night bus.
Yes.
It was a good experience. You'd be delighted to know.
But we'll tell you more about that.
Yeah, so then we were on our way to La Paz. But we do recommend the trip. If you get to stay in the Salt Hotel, I'm very jealous. But we will speak to you from La Paz. Don't forget to like and subscribe.